Welcome to Unfiltered Summit Sisters. I'm Gina.
And I'm Julia.
We are two ride-or-die best friends who are paving the path for what true, authentic relationships look like.
We're facing hardships head-on, having real, uncensored conversations, supporting each other's growth, and shining a light on true, raw healing.
We are navigating the world the best we know how.
Having a hell of a time doing it.
Laughing every step of the way.
Through the rain
and sunshine.
This is Canyon Culture.
Welcome back to Unfiltered Summit Sisters. I think the fact that we haven't blown away at this point
Miracle.
is so freaking windy.
It is, because
But it's not crazy cold.
winter's coming again this weekend.
Right. We had summer for yesterday.
Yes.
No, spring. Sorry. Let's not get carried away.
False spring number
7.
Yeah.
Yeah, which is fine. But we are currently on the porch under the
Yes.
heaters.
Yes.
Yeah. So we are staying toasty warm. Blessed heaters. Thank you so much. And the sun pokes out, which is nice. But
Yes.
okay. You hung out with a different friend.
I did.
You hung out with a different friend.
I'm sorry.
And I feel like we need to address that here in the safe
Okay.
space of the podcast so that
Okay.
keep us in check so that we don't get violent.
I did. I went and had coffee with a friend.
Yeah.
For 2 hours on a school day.
On a school day.
On a freaking school
I love
day.
how it's a school day, not a school night for you.
It's true. It's true. And I had such a good time.
Good.
It was so nice and so cup filling.
So explain why it's cup filling, because like we do stuff all the time, but there was something specific about this event that I think made it more cup filling.
Right. Life has been so heavy and serious for so long for me that I feel like I constantly have to get every single one of my responsibilities done all the time.
Mm-hmm.
All the time. Like even down to, this is going to sound so stupid, even down to like laundry. Like
No, I believe it.
even down to laundry, I'm like, nope, we got empty basket. We've got to get it done.
Yeah.
Like,
How much do you think
so-
that stems from your childhood? Was your childhood a lot like that, where like you can't have fun until your jobs are all done?
Yes.
And then now your jobs are never done, so you never have fun?
And it is like ingrained in me.
Yeah.
Like if I'm gonna go have coffee with a friend or I'm gonna do anything fun, that's on a Saturday or a Sunday if I finish my responsibilities from the week first.
If your chores are done. If
Yes.
your boyfriend lets you after your chores are done.
Right.
So this
Right.
was a little freeing.
Yes. And I do a lot better with last minute things.
Mm-hmm.
That's how I work. Schedules are difficult for me because I may want to have coffee with you next week.
Yeah.
But what if I wake up next week and then I don't?
What if 5 minutes before you're like, I don't want to?
Right.
Absolutely.
So last minute things work so much better for me.
Right. I love it.
Yes.
So
So
I'm there with you on that one.
I got a last minute text the morning of, hey, do you want to come over and have coffee at like 10? I was like,
Okay.
that sounds fun. Yeah. And
I think
actually the reason I said yes is because I was in a fuck it mood because I am back and I haven't been sleeping. And I can only eat air apparently right now.
Right. Yeah.
And so I'm like, I'm hungry and I'm tired. And so literally I was like, fuck the laundry. I'm going to have coffee with a friend.
And now you're healing. Look at you.
Yes. Yes. And so I'm still, I'm sure you can tell, I'm still very much in the baby raw stages
Yeah.
of this in particular. But I saw it in one of my kids, which was kind of painful.
Yeah.
So we went.
That mirror is really, really, strips you bare.
Yes. Seeing it in one of your kids, and then you're like,
Oh,
I know exactly where they got that from.
And it's not pretty.
But we went on a trip, on a weekend trip recently, and we were only going to go for one night. We decided to extend it and stay one more night. And one of my kids was like, I can't. Tomorrow is Sunday. I have to wash my hair. I've got to wash my bed sheets. I've got to get my Sunday stuff done. And I was like, yikes, I know right where you got that from. You got that from me. Right?
Yeah.
And I want my kids to be able to, I do want them to get their responsibilities done, but I don't want them to be so strict and so stuck to it that it sucks the joy and the spontaneity and the fun out of their lives.
Because that's where I feel like just the yummy goodness comes when it's just like, oh my gosh. Okay, so you had just gone on a trip to Moab, and that was spontaneous. And that, like, it's that where you're just like, it's not even just a trip. It's the fact that it was spontaneous, last minute. Hey, in 3 hours, let's get in the car and go.
Right.
It's that kind of thing. It's the, hey, let's drive 24 hours. Let's leave right now.
Right.
Right. Like it's just, that's some of the goodness of life is doing the last minute things.
Yes.
So
well, even yesterday, I had a bunch of computer work that I needed to do, and I had a full day yesterday, but the sun was out,
I love
and it was
that
so
sun.
pretty. And I was like, I really just want to go sit in Gina's front yard and do work because I know she's either training or working. And so I just want to go sit in her front yard. And I like struggled with it for a little bit before I text you because I was like, well, then if I go, I'm not going to be able to switch the laundry when the timer goes off right away. And
Right.
I'm not right.
Yeah.
And like, I need to be able to stir dinner and like all right.
Stir dinner.
And see, this is
It-
ridiculous.
it's
This is the
not,
place
though.
that I live in.
It's not ridiculous though, because I do think that a lot of people are in the same space. I was like, I've worked on this idea. I've worked on a lot longer because I
Mhm.
was super rigid, but I had an outside community that pushed me. So my sister, I remember, she's like, "Hey, do you want to come over? Like, bring the kids over and we'll do lunch or whatever." I was like, "It's laundry day," and she's like, "Did you know that the laundry will still be there tomorrow?" I'm like, "Right, but today's laundry day." And she's like, "But what will happen if you leave it till tomorrow?" I'm like, "Then I'm doing it on the wrong day." I had no good reason, right? I'm a
Yes.
stay-at-home mom. It's not like this is my only day that I have the time to do it. I could do it the next day.
Right.
So my issue is though is that because I live in extremes,
Yes.
I'm either putting everything first that is what I think is important.
Checking every single box.
That's what it is. I'm checking all of the boxes and then I can have fun, which leaves no fun.
Yes. There's no
Or I'm doing nothing and I'm just having fun and I'm neglecting everything. And so I am learning how, like for me in my journey, I have to find that middle ground because yeah, but I was the same thing. It's the stupid, ridiculous things that I get stuck in my head.
Mhm.
If I have to, I have to. No, you don't.
Yes.
These will still be here tomorrow.
Mhm.
You can get them done another day.
Mhm.
And that has been super, super freeing. So now I'm on the other side though, where there's days where I'm like, oh, I probably should cook dinner for my family. It's been a while. Right? Because that
Yeah.
for me right now, it's like, oh, I got invited to dinner. And I'm like, well, right now I'm going, well, my kids are going to be in Texas for 6 weeks. I need to spend every minute with them, which
Mm.
turns me into a momster because I'm like, y'all
Right.
are stupid and annoying. And then, right? Like, how is that
Yes.
helpful? And so I was like, no, I need time with my friends. Let me go to dinner. And then it's dinner 3 nights in a row. And they're like, so, like, do you live here anymore? And I'm like, listen, I don't need your judgment, children, right? So like I've got to find the middle ground, or I've got to do better at connecting with them and spending time with
Right.
my friends and going out and being Gina versus being mom. So
Right.
it's a balancing act. It's not easy.
Right.
But yeah, these ideas in your head, they sound ridiculous when you said them out loud, but the feeling inside is hardcore.
It really is. And it's incredible. I'm going to shock you. Okay.
Okay, I'm ready.
So we went on a spontaneous trip to Moab for an
Yeah.
entire weekend. I had coffee with a friend for 2 hours on a school day. And I came and worked in your front yard in the sunshine. And guess what? Everything still got done.
What?
And I felt freaking amazing.
That's the thing. So when I went to the functional medicine doctor Jared the other day, I was explaining to him. I was like, I weirdly feel like I have more hours in the day,
Mm-hmm.
and I was like, and it feels uneasy for me because then it makes me feel like I'm lazy.
Right.
And he was like, so I'm describing what my days are like, and he's like, what you're doing is you're being more efficient.
Mm-hmm.
So by balancing this, taking care of yourself gives you the ability to perform better,
Mm-hmm.
which gives you the ability to take care of the things you need to do faster.
Mm-hmm.
More efficiently, which leaves you with more time to do more things.
Yes.
And I'm like, oh, because there's a book, I think it's called The 4-Hour Workday or something like that. And it's that whole concept of if you can get a full day's work done in 4 hours, why would we not do that?
Absolutely.
Right? So you obviously can't do a lot of that because you have to be physically face to face with the work people like that.
Right.
But if you're able to feed yourself in such a way that makes other jobs either more fun. So you did work, but you combined it with fueling your soul by sitting in front of your yard with me.
Mm-hmm.
That's where you're making up
Right.
time because you fed yourself and you fed your business
At the
and
same time.
At the same time. And that's the stuff that Jared's teaching me.
Mm-hmm.
And I was like, okay. And I'm seeing it in my life. And so I'm like, I have time to watch TV. I don't know if I'm allowed to do that.
Right.
And he's like, no, you can. I'm like, I can? He's like, yeah, you can. I'm like, oh.
So which days?
How much TV do I get?
Exactly what time? Let me set my timer.
Right. I was like, are you going to call me or do I need to tell you when, like, are you a part of this?
Do I log this somewhere?
But that's how it is because I think my family was the same way. Chores come first and then fun.
Yes.
And that gets embedded in a toxic way when you've got perfectionism and people pleasing in your body. Because I don't want to say my parents created that. They were trying to teach me responsibility, which
Absolutely.
you want to teach your kids.
Yes.
But for us, there needs to be that some days
Mm-hmm.
or combining efforts
Right.
is okay.
Mm-hmm.
because you should get to go have coffee with your friends. We should get to sit in front of my house in the sun and do
Mm-hmm.
work. And we should get to go out to dinner with our friends. And that should be a priority.
Mm-hmm.
Laundry
Absolutely.
is never going to end. We're not going to miss it.
Laundry is never going to fill my soul.
It sure won't.
Ever.
I will say though, when I'm done, I'm like, look what you just did.
Though I do really love the smell of clean laundry. Oh,
yeah.
There's something about that. Like even when we walk, if I walk by somebody's house who is doing laundry, I'm like,
is it because when it's not clean, it smells like dirty kids? That's what I was thinking, because my kids smell. But,
maybe.
But it's a concept that I think has a lot of different places to learn. So
Yes.
in your baby stage, you're learning to say those yeses.
Mm-hmm.
And I think it's important to recognize, like I was saying, when you were able to do the two at once, to recognize that's how that's being more efficient.
Mm-hmm.
And I need to not abandon my children because they drive me nuts.
Yeah. Yeah.
So that's my problem.
I feel that because because I homeschool, right?
Yeah.
I'm with them all the time, and I still have the same guilt that you have.
Yeah.
Mine aren't going to Texas. Mine are literally with me 24/7, 365 days a year, and I still have mom guilt. That's like, oh, you have 5 minutes of freedom, and you decided to play on your phone for 5 minutes? Bad mom.
How dare you?
Yes.
Which is ridiculous.
Yes.
We've got to figure out how to heal that. I think it's because kids are little narcissists. Let's be honest. They're little narcissists, and I mean that in the most.
Oh my gosh, I have never thought of it like that. But
Oh really?
It's so true.
They are. They're
That's
supposed to be. They're
Yes.
supposed to be. This isn't. I'm not calling my kids narcissists.
Right.
Yours are too. I'm just. Everybody's are, but that's where we got to teach them. Just like your wants and needs are not top priority 24/7.
Yes.
They have a place. You have a voice. You get to take up space in this
Yes.
world, but so do I.
Yes.
And so does Julia. And so do Julia's kids. And so does everybody else in this
think
world.
it can be hard, though, especially for single parents. I'll speak for myself. For me, there's so much guilt from what has either been taken away from them or what they don't have.
Or what they've been through.
Yes. That I, not consciously, because consciously I know I don't need to.
Right.
Subconsciously, I feel like I have to overextend all the time to try to make up for it, or to try to heal it, or to try to fix it.
Yeah, I agree.
And in reality, it's not doing any of that. What it's doing is stressing me out and making me a monster.
Yeah. I actually had an experience with that just last week where my kids had an opportunity to have an experience. And I held on so tight because I was like, they get this experience, and God put me through this week-long lesson of let go.
Right.
Let go. They get to have those experiences, but you holding on so tight ain't gonna make it happen.
Right.
Right. You've got to trust me. And I was like, okay, all right, I trust you.
Yeah.
And it was hard, but it was at the same time, like he put it through different perspective and different angles. And I'm just like, okay, yes, I need to fight for my kids. Yes, I need to fight for them to have experiences, but I also need to trust God. Yes. I need to trust him and put my efforts where he tells me to put my efforts, and then leave it at the rest at the altar.
Yes.
Just like, you've got the rest. But yes, as single parents, because my kids as well, they don't get to have as nearly as many experiences as a lot of other kids get to have, because time and energy alone, even if I had the money, time and energy, it's like I can't add more to my plate.
Yes.
And that's what it is I feel so guilty because of that, because it's my capacity. So I'm going, if you were a better mom, if you had a better job, if you could handle your life a little better, they could have these things. And I'm going, so that's, I think for me, that guilt is rough because it's real. And right, you know what I mean? Like it's on my capabilities, not on our situation that I don't have control over.
Right.
More or less.
Right.
So
I feel that, but I think that is
Satan.
Oh, absolutely. And those lies and that condemnation, right? Yeah. That's different. That's way different from conviction.
Yep.
Right. And those feelings, and not only is it even the words that you're saying are speaking to who you are as a person, right? Which is very different from as Christians when we do have something in our lives that we need to address or we need to fix. you know, the Holy Spirit will convict us of that, but we never feel condemned, and it's not who we are.
Yes.
Right?
Yes.
So when we're having the feelings of, I'm a bad mom, I am not enough, I am,
Mhm.
it's all, right? That should be a huge red flag to stop and say, nope,
Caution,
this is,
caution.
yeah, huge red flag of,
False.
these are lies.
Yeah.
These are absolute lies.
Yeah. It's interesting how one of the things I love about our podcast is it gives us these moments to go, right, this is where Satan is putting his hand in my life. This is where he is sneaking in a space where I'm trying to be a good mom. And he's like, but you're not.
Right.
Right. And so even down to like people who see us be moms, like, you're a good mom. And I was like, you don't see me behind closed doors. Like, I'm defending
Right.
Satan and going like, you don't see me yelling at my kids.
Right.
Anyway, it's ridiculous. But I think it's good that you recognized it and that you grew and you had like a whole week of fun things that you did.
I did.
And you get to rewrite that story, and you get to put that in it's okay to take care of yourself.
Right.
Journal.
So that's kind of what I'm doing right now. I
Good.
need to make sure that I am taking time to do things that fill my cup, that fill my soul, which could be coffee with a friend. It could be literally stopping and having a dance party.
We talk about that in so many different
and
areas.
letting the laundry wait 10 minutes before
That's what it is.
it.
Because we talk about like self-care, and we do talk about like dancing and doing these things, but it's now doing it from a different angle.
Yes.
It's doing it from the angle of letting other things not take priority of us living.
Right.
So don't live in squalor. Don't become a hoarder where we're having to like part the sea of takeout trash and mice. Like, let's not go that far.
Right.
But the dishes can wait. The laundry can wait. The floor can wait. Those chores are not memories we're going to hold on to. It's the...
Do you think it's... I'm like just having a light bulb moment.
Ooh.
Do you think it is a control thing?
Yeah, I do.
I can control when the chores get done.
Yep.
I can control how my business is run. I can control all of these things. So let me just control.
I think on top of that too, it's if I can see that everything's in order, then it's proof that I'm doing a good job.
My life is in order. Thank you so much.
Right. If my house is clean, then obviously I'm a good mom. If my kids get their chores done and they come and they're respectful and kind, obviously I'm being a good mom. And it's less of what other people see, but it's like, okay, no, you're doing a good job. Instead of those moments where I let the laundry go and play flies up in the road with the kids. Or even, to be honest, even when I'm trying to find the balance again, when I'm training and in between sets, I go play flies up with my kids because they want to connect with me.
Yeah.
Right? It's that. So I think it is control, and I think it's this releasing this idea that us getting these boxes checked makes us a good parent.
Right.
That's not it.
Right. And I even did that this week. I told one of the kids that we would make cookies yesterday, and we didn't because I didn't have time. But you know what I did do? I got the entire house clean. I got the garage clean. I got the lawn done. I got dishes done. I got laundry done. I got dinner made. All of that got done.
Yeah.
But I didn't make cookies with him, and I wish I would have.
Right.
Because there are many, many other balls that could have been dropped. That would have been fine.
And I like that perspective because us taking care of us is good. Us taking care of our kids and teaching them. Memories are the things you're going to take in heaven.
Yes.
Not the laundry. Your clean house is not going to like come with you, but your memories will. Your knowledge will. Your family will. So I am so grateful that you are taking care of yourself because you taking care of yourself often brings you to my yard. And then we get to spend time together, and that helps me take care of me.
Do you realize why it brings me to your yard, though? I'm already going to start crying.
I just thought it's because the sunshine shines on my yard more. But you're crying, so I don't know if
no,
that's
because
it.
the sunshine shines in my gym all day.
Right, but it's not in the grass.
It's true. It's true. No, but because your space is a safe place for me and a healing place for me. It's a safe place where I can be whatever I am that day, good or bad, hard or easy. It doesn't matter what it is. And no matter what, I know I'm going to feel peace and happiness. That's why. And sunshine.
Which is part of it. The emotions I'm having right now are really intense because my house wasn't that for a long time. And we both have worked really hard to have that in our lives. And the fact that it's something that you feel at my house, like gold star.
Yeah, absolutely.
I feel like I just got a gold star in life. Like, I don't feel like I get a lot of victories. I feel like that's for you to feel that in a place that held so much pain and so much abuse.
Yeah.
That you are feeling the exact opposite. Like, that's big.
Yeah.
Thank you for sharing.
It is. Okay, gratitude, because I got to go make cookies today. Um,
We have things to do.
I am thankful that God's still teaching me things. He's not done with me yet, that I am still being refined, that He's still making me better. Every day I'm 1% better. Every day. And I'm thankful for that.
I'm glad you are. And I'm going to replay this clip when you're like, what is happening right now? Why am I having to go through this? I'm like, you said you were grateful to be refined. So he's just keeping up his end of the bargain.
Oh my gosh. Okay. Until next time.
Thank you for listening to this week's episode of Unfiltered Summit Sisters.
Come join us on Instagram, Facebook, and TikTok to get a sneak peek into our lives.
It's beautiful, chaotic, crazy, and fun.
What else would you expect raising 10 kids?
All the links you need are in the show notes.
See you next week.